Yeah! Welcome to a special edition of Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. This is the #1 talk business show in North Carolina. We have been doing this strong for well over 11 years, and with those 11 years, we have enjoyed this 11th annual small business event of the year. This is News Talk WSIC, broadcasting live and streaming live anywhere you want to participate. We're on the tubes, the book, the chain, the X, any place you got a podcast provider. For those of you that don't know Joe Talk, that is Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn and X. We will be reviewing the WSIC Facebook page. Go there if you want to ask us some questions. I'm going to try and follow that. You can go to WSICnews.com. Again, I am Joe Vagnone, and I am here with many of my friends and community leaders. Most of them you know, but some of them you don't. Sit back, relax, grab a drink, light up a tasty cigar, or for those of you healthy folks, grab an energy drink or an energy bar and enjoy 3 hours of commercial-free live radio. This is a special edition of Local Biz Now, where we hope to be nurturing your mind, body, and finances. Presented to you by Novant Health, My Novant Portal. Access and manage all your health information in one place with the My Chart app. Sign in to your My Chart app account to schedule and see appointments, conduct virtual visits, messages to your doctor, view health records, and more. Novant Health, where your health is in your hands. And I am here, and I've been doing this every year for 11 years with the support, help, and most of the time carrying the water, my good friend, whether he will admit it or not, Bill Russell. Mr. Russell, sir, thank you so much, buddy. I thought about this morning, hard to believe you talked me into this 11 years ago, right? It's not what it is today.
You're not holding it against me, are you?
Right, but you talked me into this 11 years ago. I love to tell people, I did this, I started this is my thing. But let me tell you something, Bill Russell has a way of making everything seem like somebody else did it, right? My friend, thank you so much. It has been years, and every year you and I go through this same thing, which is we get excited to put this together.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah. And hearing from our community and business leaders, this is wonderful. And the motivational speakers you've lined up.
Yeah, we've had just a great group, and tonight's going to be a great thing as well. So, okay. So for those of you that don't know Bill Russell, I know I have introduced you many, many times. And so I don't want to be boring tonight, because tonight is special. So I went to the Terminator, and I asked the Terminator to create a poem.
This is AI, right? This is AI?
I call AI the Terminator.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I asked the Terminator to make a poem, introduction about my buddy. Are you ready for this? Okay. This is the title of the poem.
I remember a poem one time before, and you didn't like it.
Well, this is the title of the poem. Bill, oh, Bill, your achievements do shine. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay. Ladies and gents, tune in and hear about a guy we all hold so dear. Bill Russell, with his love for dad and mom. His leadership skills, they're a bomb. From Rock Hill to all the villes he strides. In every role he holds the tides. As president of Junior Chamber, he leads with charisma and charm. He heads boards and organizations. He's got the touch. The inner community he does clutch. Kiwanis, that's true. That thing knows you. Kiwanis and chamber crew, building communities. That's what he'll do. Order of the Palmetto and honor so sweet. U.S. Chamber Institute, where he brings the heat. A political leadership scholar. That's our Bill. Certified chamber executive, he's got the skill. Bill Russell, oh, Bill Russell, what a sight. Your achievements shine so bright. An inspiration to all. We'll always say with you, Bill, every day's a sunny day. So let's give a shout. Let's make some noise for our friend Bill. He's our joyous voice. To laughter, to cheer, let's raise a toast for Bill, our friend, the one we love the most.
Now, Jeff, now you know why we only let him do this once a month, once a year.
Well, not a little cheering and clapping behind that.
Wait, you got the button thing over there.
Do I have the button here?
You got the button thing, but I don't think we want to have you push anything.
Okay,
go ahead, push one.
So that was your introduction.
There you go.
I people that don't know you, I might not have done you justice, but most of us know you, and I thought it was the best way for me to introduce you. And thank you, my friend, for honestly, what you have done with me is push me forward and ask me to do things. Because, I'm a one-on-one guy. You wouldn't know that because you see me on the radio. You think I just, love talking to groups of people. The truth is I'm just talking to this Mike and Wilton. And that's the reality of it. And you're the guy that's always telling us, business people, you can do it. Why don't you do that? You even creating programs with the chamber that allows people to present their products and service in a way that's in a broader sense. And so it is a big deal, and people don't realize it till they go to other chambers, and they start to actually see with these services that Lake Norman Chambers offer. They're just not there.
Well, we got a great Chamber of Commerce, sure enough.
There's no doubt about it, buddy. Okay, so this year, he just snuck his way into our lives. I don't know what happened. For 10 years, you and I have been doing this.
Yeah.
We don't need help. We don't need anybody bothering us. And then all of a sudden, something happened. This guy just kind of warmed our hearts. Do you want to introduce him?
No, you go ahead.
You want me to? I don't have a poem for him.
He's probably grateful for that.
I can't believe that you've been letting Joe Vagnone yell at you for 11 years like this.
Oh, my.
Okay, whoa, you don't get out that scot-free, okay? That is the voice, most of you know, of Justin Kazepis.
Oh, wow.
Got it down.
Wow.
Got it. He is the newest owner of WSIC Radio, headquartered out of Statesville, North Carolina, one of the oldest radio stations in the state. He didn't know that when he bought it. Let me just tell you that. And the first radio station to operate a AM and FM transmission off the same tower. He is 33 years old, which makes him the youngest guy we're going to talk to all night.
34, but hey, who's
Justin was the founder of Brookdale Village-based Kazepis Law, which he sold in 2021. Despite his success in law and real estate, Justin decided to move and look for another opportunity, which he chose his passion, which is broadcast media. Evidence of his passion is in his recent award from the Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce, the McIntosh Law Firm Passion to Succeed Entrepreneur of the Year Award, Mr. Justin Kazepis.
Thank you for having me. So this is the other cool thing. The very first event I did in any official capacity with a written agreement with Mark Sanger, previous owner of WSIC, was the 2023 small business event. It was like a week in. Literally I signed the agreement, and he says, by the way, next week, Joe Vagnone, Bill Russell, they have an event. You're heading it up. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So made it 1 year. Thanks, guys.
Well, Justin, this year you had a lot to do with planning it. We're in your brand new studio. It really has turned out to be just a phenomenal year. It's hard to believe it's been a year, actually.
It's funny. I was talking about on the morning show. I joke with Mamie, who's hanging out in the lobby over there. I said, wow, so it's about to be halfway through the year. Oh, wait a second. So Christmas stuff's about to be on the shelves at the store. As a business owner and an entrepreneur, you're always looking for the next thing, but before you know it, the next year comes around, the next quarter, and the next month, the next week. How y'all have been doing this for decades, hats off to y'all.
Well, just a decade. A decade.
I think
Not the show Life. I was talking more about Life. You guys are,
Yeah, decades.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm 34. You guys are, oh, wait, no, we won't do that.
For me, it's a lot of cigars. For Bill, it's a lot of bourbon.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So we've got a great show. For those of you that don't know, we spend all year trying to put this show together so we can present just a little level above what we normally do. And this year we've done that. We always try and bring some top talent in, people from the community that we just really believe in. And there's no exception here. Now, listen, Bill, we're going to fight over this, or you going to let me introduce him? I mean,
Well, you say
couldn't-
he's your favorite mayor. He's my
He
favorite
is.
board chair.
I'm talking about Jeff Tarte. He is my favorite mayor. I have been saying that for years. I adore the man. I adore the character. Jeff Tarte is an accomplished individual. He has, for many years, been involved in politics, but people don't realize or remember he is a very successful businessman. 3-term senator, 3-term mayor. Jeff Tarte's political career has been defined by a steadfast commitment to public service. He chaired the Oversight Committee for over 20 North Carolina state agencies. He chaired the North Carolina Cybersecurity Committee, which collaborated with counterparts from over 20 state agencies. Before getting into politics, his entrepreneurial spirit led him to the co-founding of Applied Revenue Analysis, a national health care revenue cycle company where he served as the CEO. Jeff Tarte was named one of the top 100 IT executives in the U.S. by CIO magazine, holding a top secret Department Defense security clearance, recognized in the North Carolina Public Leader of the Year in 2019 by North Carolina Tech. My friend, whether he will admit it or not, is just absolutely one of the most detail-oriented people that has a true care for this community, and I am honored. We all are honored that he is involved in this community, and he is the coming
No, he's the current board chair right now.
current board chair, my good friend, and the finest mayor I know, Mr. Jeff Tarte.
Thank you, Joe. Actually, for the audience, I want them to rate it. Is Jeff Tarte a great mayor or the greatest mayor? But if they just want to go with great, that's okay.
Greatest of all time.
And I was going to say, if my dad had heard that, he'd actually be proud. If my mom heard it, she'd actually believe it.
So Jeff, you and I have been around the block with being on these shows and this sort of stuff. And what I like about you is you keep reinventing yourself. You keep finding ways to participate in the community in a way that is helpful. Talk about that because it's hard to say one thing that I would stamp Jeff Tarte as until I say community leader.
So you're saying he's the Madonna of Lake Norman? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, well, it just proves you can fool some of the people some of the time.
You got me fooled, buddy.
No, it's a funny story. We talk about being in small business, and this is a indirect advertisement for our billboard industry. That when we were living inside D.C., and this is 32 years ago, we decided we were not going to rate. We just had our 3 kids. They were almost kindergarten age, the oldest, and we decided we were going to move to Charlotte for a host of reasons. So we came down for 2 weekends in a row, and the last Sunday after lunch on the way home, we saw a billboard on I-77 that said, "Live on the lake and play golf every day." Not that I do either, but it was a sign for the peninsula. We pulled off, and within an hour and a half, we bought a lot. We've lived here 32 years since, and watched this go from about 10 to 12,000 people in population in the Lake Norman area to now over 200,000. I mean, only place you could go shop was South Charlotte. Now it's all up here at the lake.
So I'm curious, when I call you a community leader and somebody that's been in and around, how do you feel about that? Because you just do it, right? Like you're not doing it so Joe will say you're a community leader. I mean, how do you feel about that? Because I can tell your life is just full of choices that put you helping people.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing. I would say, something we learned at kind of a graduate school program, exec ed program, was answering question 0. And question 0 is, what do you do? And when people ask, if oversimplifying, I say, I help people solve their problems. And by that, it's really connecting people. It's just you live here long enough, you get old, a lot of different people, and it's putting people together that can. And so people ask, who can help me do this? How do we solve this? And it's not, I don't have the answers, but I generally know at least possibly who might be able to help you.
Right.
So,
And most people don't know this, but when I first met you, I knew you as a CEO of a very impressive company. Now, when they see you as this community leader politician. I don't think they get it that you know a few things about business.
yeah, it's funny because I ran an international business. I was a partner at Ernst & Young for most of my career. So you think about being a partner in globally the third largest corporation that was a $45 billion enterprise that employed 350,000 people. I had clients in all 50 states and 5 foreign countries. So, and now I just take out the garbage when my wife tells me to.
Joe, I said earlier today on Town Talk that I always thought the Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce, at least for the last 20 years, had been tremendous at advocacy and being the voice of business. And then we brought Jeff on board, 3-term mayor of Cornelius, 3 terms North Carolina senator, and he became public policy chair. And the relationships that he had built in Raleigh and in D.C. Really right now are really paying huge dividends. And now, of course, the chairman of the Chamber of Commerce. But advocacy is a large part. A lot of people don't join the Chamber of Commerce necessarily that we're the voice of business. But it's important if you're going to get a rezoning request or you're weighing in on a healthcare issue or road improvement projects, that the Chamber of Commerce be able to go to Raleigh and be effective. And a lot of the reason we are effective is sitting across from me.
You know, Jeff, Bill and I, he sold me, right? He's now my mentor of politics, right? But I'm his mentee. But for years we would fight about this because as a small business guy, I don't want to have anything to do with politics. I don't want to get involved. I don't want to have to deal with this. No, I'm not getting on a van and going to Raleigh. I'm not going to do it. But you have to.
And there's people that do, and it's appreciative of the people that do. And, they say it's a thankless job. I tell you what's weird. 85% of the people you run into will thank you and say, appreciate you doing this. People don't realize in Raleigh, as an example, with all the discourse that goes on, and it's usually social issues, each side of the aisle can't talk to each other. Last year, there were 1,600 bills that were put forward in the long session. 10% of them passed, 169 bills. Of those that actually passed, 85% of them passed with unanimous votes almost across both aisles. It was 19 bills out of the 169 that were split down party lines is all. Now they get very contentious. They're abortion, gun rights, those types of issues. But the rest of it's just doing the business of the state, for goodness sake, or the town or whatever. And you need people to get involved that are willing to be involved and bring some skill sets to the table.
So I'll tell you, guys, I'm going to tell you a story about Jeff Tarte. Years ago, I turned my screen-in porch into my smoking room. We call it the lodge, right? And 5 or 6 of my buddies, that's where we go and smoke. And so one day, my buddy comes in, and literally, I can see tears in his eyes. I said, dude, what's up? He said, man, his wife was a teacher. She was on disability, and she couldn't get in touch with the labor department that she needed to make sure insurance was intact tomorrow. Because without it, she had MS. Without it, she was not going to have insurance, right? She couldn't get in touch with somebody. She didn't know what to do. He's like, Joe, we've been trying for months. I don't know what to do. What do you think? I said, man, I don't know, but let me just send a text to my buddy Jeff Tarte. He said, who's he? I said, well, I believe he's a bigwig up in Raleigh. Let's find out how bigwig he is.
Well, at least bigwig in his own mind.
I sent you a text, Jeff. Hey, buddy, here's my friend. Here's his wife's name. Can you help? I kid you not. Before I finished that cigar and before my buddy lit his cigar, his wife called and said the department labor had called her and told her everything was taken care of. And I'm telling you, he literally was just as appreciative as he could ever be for that. And that's when I realized, whoa, Jeff powerful.
No, here's the magic. This is advice for all business folks, people coming out of school and throughout your careers. You remember the old Rolodexes, right? We have our contact list. But I collect one thing from people, their cell phone numbers. You would not believe when you meet whoever it is. You could meet the CEO of Exxon, the governor of Idaho. It doesn't matter. This, a small business owner of a window shop. do you mind if I have your personal cell phone number? 99% of the time, they'll give it to you. Keep those relationships, keep those contacts, as you never know. And those are the people that get things done.